So on this day, we're going to be adding in multi-digit numbers, right? And so we know that they learn this in second grade, and we really just want to make sure that our most struggling babies have got it and have got it with understanding. And so I really want you to keep them in mind. Like, how in this lesson do you help your students who normally are the ones raising their hands really like take a back seat and you're cold calling to drive the conversation to the students who really need to be participating? I mean, we need to do that every day, but like keep in mind that this is review and also that this lesson should be at 100%. So, all right, guys, 10 ones make it 10. You take 10 ones and make a 10 physically, okay? Really for realsies. Like, use blocks, all right? Then, if we have too many, right, then in our place value chart, let's say we have 13 ones, 10 ones still make a 10, but there might be some left behind, right? So if I have a 13, I don't put it here. I move the 1 over, and I keep the 3 here, like 1 tens rather than 3 ones. 10 tens make 100. Stack them all up. So again, if I have too many 10s, I might take 10 to make 100, but then have some left behind. And so let's say here, I counted up all my 10s. I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I don't put the 12 here. I know 10 of those make 100, and then 2 are just left behind. Okay, this idea is good for all your students, that we can actually have double digits in that place, and then we bump to the left where they make bigger blocks and bigger place values, right? That's really important for review, even if they all know how to add perfectly. We call this, by the way, carrying. So here, if I'm going to add these up, 26 and 15. When I count these, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, I'm going to take 10 of them and make a new tens rod. This disappears, and now look, I have 41, right? Because when I got 11 here, I didn't leave it as 11. I carried 1 over and just kept 1 by itself. Let's do it again. So now you model this. Right? Sorry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, fine. Here, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Well, I don't usually keep 13 in that place, right? I take 10 and I use it to make a new flat. So if it was 13, I'd write it like this. Carry 1, leave the 3 in its spot. So now I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just really practicing the models, all right? And we're drawing where that regrouping is happening, okay? Because imagine if this is what they're given. That's a problem. 400s. Well, sorry, 300s, 13 10s, and 5 1s. We want them to be able to parse that out. We want them to be able to solve it and think about it. And not be like, oh yeah, this must be 3,135 because they just put the digits together. So even if your kids can line these up, oops, sorry, pretend that's a beautiful 7, and add them perfectly, which I'm not believing every single kid can, you still want to be thinking through the meaning of all this regrouping and really explaining it, okay? So that's what you're practicing on this day is the model. And I'm actually, and really think here talking about how we line them up, like which digits end up going with which digits, because a lot of kids will line this up eventually like this. So we want to make sure they know why it goes here, and that's because 1s need to go with 1s in my chart. And then I'm actually just going to skip right ahead to these other lessons, okay? These other lessons are just like the one we did, except for, there it is. except that we ask the kids to do the numbers now, right? So here I am, and I'm going to say, remember the model, right? And we draw the model out, and we show the regrouping. And then right underneath the model, so here's you doing the model, we do the digits. And we talk about how, okay, we get 11 here, but we're going to write it as that. That's like this, moving over. And then we get 4. And let's check. Maybe it's useful to draw a little line. I get 41. Okay. So now let's just move to digits. Oh, sorry. And I even give you a separate slide. So anyway, then just use the digits, right? And talk about how it regroups. I'm not 100% sure you're going to need 3 whole days to do this. If you start to get a little bit bored, like the next day is the same lesson except for with thousands. 10 hundreds make 1,000. If you start to get a little bit bored, then what I would say is working on the estimation to check is going to be really, really valuable, or just estimating it, as another opportunity. And then you could start to talk about a little bit of compensation, right? And which of these could be compensated as a way to estimate. So that could be really fun extension. But I'm not going to take your time talking through addition because I think you've got it.